Hello everyone, this is Cafriel, and I am pleased to be bringing you the 9th episode of this Vantage Master LP. Today we'll be dealing with the Palace of Meditation and a Ranger as our opponent. So this will be always blurry, and that means the time doesn't really matter that much. The enemy master has equal move distance, slightly lower speed, equal magic power, lower attack power, and lower defenses. However, she does have accessible all the nadials and magic that we have. That means we're going to have to watch out for Zamalpen. I think that about covers everything, so let's get started. This map has a lot of really tight corridors. That's going to be a potential problem. It causes this map to be a bit of a slog, even under the best of circumstances. So, starting with the enemy master analysis, we can see that she has a ranged attack. I'm not sure what the firing angle is. I think it's mid, and unfortunately there's no way to find out within this game right now. We already went over the magic and summoned list, but it's worth noting that her attack has a very long range. So next, we control this magic stone already, the one in the southwest from our start position. That took me experimentation to figure out, but it does provide us a fairly strong positional advantage. Also, there are gaps at the four chasms, I suppose they are, which Aetherians can shoot over and Air Nadials can fly over if they have sufficient move range. So Gwen Foss is going to be a little more powerful here, and so is Aetherian. Though it's also true because they're more maneuverable in these really tight spaces. So given the situation, we're going to move straight for the center, and our first Nadial that we summon is going to be a Gwen Foss, and it's going to head towards the northern end here. I'm not sure if it's going to beat the enemy Gwen Foss up there if it sends one, but it should be able to put up a fight. The next thing we're going to be summoning is a Faran Cell to go grab that underwater magic stone. That's a really important feature of this map. The magic stones are at lower elevation than the ground around them, which is at lower elevation than the rest of the level. And they're... let's check the move distance of that Dome Dower before we actually move. And the magic stones are in water, except for a few of them, which means that most Nadials cannot capture them. Okay, so he can reach over there, so we're going to go up this way instead. Faran Cell is going to be in position to grab that magic stone. And we're going to take a little bit of damage from that Dome Dower. Oops. Well, hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. What I will do is retreat a little bit and summon a Recu. This isn't too much of a problem because none of the enemy Nadials so far can actually capture that magic stone. So we're going to have a huge magic regeneration advantage now. And this Dome Dower of the enemies isn't going to be able to accomplish much at all. Unfortunately, my next summon will have to be some sort of healer. And I'm going to go with a Marm for the center. Actually, on this map, the Dialma is a fairly solid and reliable healer. It can get a lot done, and it can get around much more effectively than the Marm. Now, unfortunately, the enemy Pellet can grab this magic stone if my Gwen Foss leaves, so I'm just going to have to stay there. And what I can do here is pin the enemy Dome Dower with my Recu. It can't now advance in most directions, and we can see that its moving range and, more importantly, its effect range are quite limited, and my master can safely move to this hex and summon probably an Aetherian to start taking advantage of these the narrow corridors. Going to heal my master because I don't really like being badly damaged. And I still have to stay there, because this Pellet can still grab that magic stone if my Gwen Foss moves. However, my Faran Cell now can move up here, and be a bit of a threat because he has two water Nadials over there. going to continue maintaining a screen with these Nadials. This is my... No, my Gwenfoss is moving, I see. Gwenfoss still can't move because of the pallet unless I want to lose the Magic Stone. But now I can start dealing some damage to that Dulmdauer, even though it's can outrun my Water Nadials, which it won't be able to continue doing. Yep, so it moves 10th. My Reku moves 5th. And nothing the enemies can do is going to be able to stop my Reku from killing it, which means my Master can safely move up, claim this Magic Stone, and summon another Far End Cell to go grab the lower left Magic Stone. So what I'm doing up here with the Earth and Air Nadials is maintaining a position where the only thing that can attack over here safely is Fire, or Earth. Well, no, not Earth, I'm sorry. Yeah, the only thing that can safely attack over there is Fire or Heaven, but the enemy doesn't have any of those on the field. So it's a fairly safe position. And it would take way more resources than the enemy master can bring to bear in order to dislodge them. And I'm also being careful to keep my Far End Cells back from being exposed to the pellet, because the pellet can otherwise do some damage. But I am going to move it forwards, and I just exposed its back while talking. That was brilliant. So I'm going to move it forwards there because I want to keep the Reku away from my Gwenfoss. And let's see now. Enemy has summoned an Earth Nadial, so I think I can probably get away with summoning another Gwenfoss of my own. Remember, Gwenfoss are strong on this map because they can jump across these gaps. Reku is just going to move straight up the center. Let's see where my Aetherian can affect. So now we see the power of the Aetherian and its ability to shoot across these gaps, but also the fact that its line of fire is terribly limited by the narrow corridors because it can't shoot curves. Just going to move up there. However, now my Gwenfoss can start poking this Reku. Not going to do a ton of damage, but if the stalemate continues, it will eventually accomplish something. I don't think I have anything wounded, so my Marmate can just advance. Far End Cell finally grabs that last Magic Stone, and this is where this mission really becomes a slog. Because if the enemy master stays in the upper left corner, there's not much I can do to dislodge her. Okay, so let's see. Don't really have much important to do here. So I think what I'm going to do is just move and position myself and wait to see what the enemy master does. If she continues to move down, I'll block her from getting back up. But if she stays in the top area, I don't want to move down too far and then be out of position to respond. Let's see, Reku will go hide with my Marm. Far End Cell's turn. Let's see if I'm going to get a chance to swap my Far End Cell on my Gwenfoss. No, I'm not. I wonder if the Far End Cell can damage a pellet. It can. That's fascinating. Alright, so my other Far End Cell is now going to move there, where it's not in line of fire from the Ranger on the left, but it can still exert Zone of Control over those hexes. Yes, so she is actually moving down a bit. That means I'm probably going to want to grab... Let's see what the effect range is here. Yeah, I can hit the pellet and nothing else. So I'm going to finish off the Far End Cell. And then what I'm probably going to do is summon another Gwenfoss to hop over that gap and get in the way. Keep her from retreating back up. Going to just continue waiting with this Gwenfoss because it can... Oh, it could have switched with the Far End Cell that time. Oh well. Reku is going to move up to be a blocker. Far End Cell is just going to continue poking the pallet. And yeah, I lost a Gwenfoss to the Marm, but I'm okay with that. Okay. Just wait there. Now this pellet cannot claim that magic stone because it's in water, but it can claim the one to the far south if it gets down there. So I'm going to have to summon a fire nadial at some point to prevent that. In the meantime, I'm going to just move back onto that magic stone because I'm going to have to retreat down there with some more forces. Reku is going to maintain its blocking position. Marmee will heal it. And my master is going to move to the southwest now and summon a fire nadial. However, I'm going to be able to cut off the enemy master with my Gwen Foss. It won't last long, but it will last long enough. What's the time looking like? I think I'm just going to summon a Hepatus, because at this point the playtime is more important than the magic power. Okay, so now my Gwen Foss can swap with the Fire End Cell on the Magic Stone, which means he's free to, let's see, what is he going to do? Probably just go poke the pellet some more. Not accomplishing much there, but, you know, it'll get done eventually. Because that pellet can do absolutely no harm running around behind my lines. There's nothing it can steal. Effect range. Okay, so this is another thing you can do with the sub-command menu. If you select move plus attack, and then you select your target, it will highlight the squares that you can move to if you want to be able to target that. And then you click on them and you'll just move there, which is very convenient. Unfortunately, I can't reach the enemy master, so I am going to just move plus attack against the Marm here. And that's not going to last very long against the Aetherian. Fire End Cell is going to wait. I don't know if the Reku can harm the Marm from the front. Oh, it can. 1 point. Yeah, so there goes my Gwen Foss, but the only purpose of that Gwen Foss was to keep the enemy master there for a while. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. So, at this point now, I'm going to give up this Magic Stone temporarily because I want to get this Earth Nadial over here to deal with these 2 Water Nadials. And I will have to either summon a Fire Nadial to dislodge that pellet, but the more important thing is keeping the pressure up on the enemy master. And my master cannot really accomplish much, so he's going to move back to the center and summon another Gwen Foss. Yeah, so there goes that Magic Stone, but the more important thing right now is my Hepatus is going to come over here and kill this pellet. Hepatus can one-hit kill a pellet from the back, and that's just something I know and use. And it's not worth healing anything with my Marm, so she's just going to wait. But now I'm going to put on some additional pressure over here. Bring the Gwen Foss around in the Fire End Cell, and again, the enemy master is running out of space to run, which is important, because if she kind of just walls herself in over there, it'll take forever to dislodge her. Alright. Now, the most important thing I can do up in the upper right is kill this Marm so the rest of my troops can get through. To that effect, I am going to delay taking them out, and it blocked me from getting the Magic Stone anyway, so that wasn't even an option. But yeah. So killing the Marm is going to let my other forces, and most importantly, my Master, get through over there. And meanwhile, the enemy master is trapped in this corridor where she's going to be able to, unfortunately, only be attacked by a couple of units. But she will not be able to escape to a Magic Stone for the increased defense and healing. So I think my Dome Dower might be able to kill her on its next turn. That's not going to prevent me from continuing to play as normal, though. Reku just pushes up. Let's see what my Aetherian can reach. The enemy Reku. Alright. I'll take it. So the important thing here is to maintain control of the passages. Yeah, I'm going to wait with my Fire End Cell because the Dome Dower has higher attack, and I think it'll be able to kill it, and the Fire End Cell might not. Maintain control of the passages so you can limit the enemy movement. To that effect, Gwen Foss is really important for blocking, and the Aetherian is good for dealing damage across the gaps and shooting over your lines of units to get more damage in on the blocking enemy units. So alright, that finishes this one off. And our reward for this was increased speed, which is always useful, and the Holy Beast's Horn, which allows us to summon blacks, or however that's pronounced. We'll be seeing a lot of that in Adiel next mission, but for now that finishes this episode. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.